Hey guys, Dan here with another book review. This was an unintended read for me. I will admit I was aware of this book because I do check out every month to see what books are new. And this is one, I have to make a comment about this because you look in the front and it says the copyright is 2017, but I just saw this past month or the months before publication list of new books that are out. So I'm a bit confused as to why it's got a publication date from 2 years ago, but yet it's apparently new everywhere else. So I don't get that. But anyways, this is Dear Fahrenheit 451, Love and Heartbreak in the Stacks by Annie Spence. Annie Spence is not typically an author. She's a librarian who decided to write a book about books. When I first read this, I was going to say I was only going to recommend it to avid readers. But I'm not, because I finished the book and I'm thinking this is a good resource for everyone, and I'm going to tell you why. Basically, being a librarian, I did a stint as a librarian assistant for like 2 semesters, so I kind of know how libraries work. They have this system called weeding, where they take old books, like whether they haven't been checked out in a long time or they're just not relevant anymore, they weed those books out. They take them out and they usually replace them with newer material. So sometimes it may be just a book that's been taken out so many times so the book is destroyed because it's been just read that many times. Or it could be that it's just like a really old book and it's just not relevant anymore. So she writes all these different like love letters to these books. I'd say a good portion of the book is about books that she's weeded throughout her career. At times she has some very witty things to say about these books. There were a few that were uproariously funny, especially the one about the 1 hour orgasm book. She talks about this book and she's kind of questioning how it's been taken out so many times, and they're looking at the condition of it, and she's kind of thinking, there's one thing, like phrase she uses that I don't remember, but it basically says that people were masturbating while using this book. It was kind of funny the way she says it though. And then there's other times she comes off as a bit smarmy and kind of really off-putting to me, like she's kind of really snobby of some things. Another thing I really didn't care for was her obsession with Jared Leto. She tends to talk about Jared Leto a lot in different scenarios in this book. But this is where I'm going to get to the part where I'm going to recommend this for everyone. Yes, you will. I'm an avid reader. I'm gonna, being a librarian, librarians, they read a lot of the books. They kind of have to because they have to give recommendations. They kind of have to know what the books they're in-house are about. So that's part of their jobs. So a lot of these books I'm very familiar with, but there were a few that I found that I added to my to-be-read list because they sounded interesting based on her descriptions. So I'm going to go ahead and say, because she even has lists that say if you like these certain types of things, she gives recommendations, like starting points for books you should check out. So that's why I'm going to say, if you're just a casual reader, you might get something out of this book because you might find some other books you're going to want to read. And don't assume, you may not even be a book person and think there's no books that can be recommended for you. You're wrong, my friend, because she had different books for different types of people, like people who were into sports, people who were into cooking, and stuff like that. Like categories that you would not even think you'd be able to recommend a book to. She managed to do that, and she had some suggestions in here. So yeah, I thought this is a very good resource. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, but then I told you there were some parts I found fault with. So I did give this a rating of 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It's just okay. Like I said, it is a good resource. It's something that I feel like you know, it's a book for everyone, but you may not want to read it because, like, if you're not that into books, you may find it to be a little boring, maybe a little ho-hum. But if you are an avid reader like me, you've read a lot of different books, you might find this kind of interesting. Like I said, there were some pretty funny bits, parts. I said Barts to put them together, bits and parts. But there were some funny bits and parts, so yeah, it did make it a worthwhile read. Of course, as always, I will have a link to purchase this down below. The link definitely works for the US, for the Amazon. It may work for the UK and Canada. I do not know because no one has reported back to me to say, hey, it doesn't work for us. And I do have a book depository link for everybody else. So if you're looking for a book, whether it's this book or any book, it helps out my channel when you purchase stuff through the links. I'm not getting AdSense. I have the views, I just don't have the subscribers. I'm up to 490 as of currently filming this. So it is what it is. If you came here looking for book reviews, go ahead and hit that subscriber link. While you're there, hit that notification bell so you're well aware of when I upload videos. That's all I got for you guys. Thanks for checking out this video. Till next time, later.